What's up, guys? I hope you guys like my attempt at making a montage of my car. But I am the owner of E90 Hollandby if you're from my Instagram. In this video, I am going to talk about all the current exterior mods that I have on my car. I'm just going to discuss the parts I use, where I got them from, how much did they cost, and just give a brief review of them. I probably should start this when I first got the car, but at the time I wasn't really thinking about making videos for a YouTube channel. I was just caught up with just getting my schoolwork done and working. So I tried to post everything on Instagram. So I don't have that much footage except what's on Instagram. So I'll do my best for this video. Just quickly, if you don't know, I drive a 2009 BMW 328i xDrive. This is my very first YouTube video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get started. So to start off, I'm going to talk about my M Sport front bumper and M Sport rear bumper. I got both these bumpers from Mod Bargains. The front bumper was $600 with shipping and all the parts and everything. And the rear bumper was $490, if I remember correctly. I had them painted by my aunt's husband, who owns his own auto body shop, so I got them at a pretty good discount. But if you're not as fortunate as me to know somebody who has a shop, you're probably looking to pay from anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for both, depending on the quality that the shop does. I installed both of these bumpers myself. Installation was pretty easy. If you look up a couple DIYs on YouTube, you should be able to do it yourself if you have the tools. For my M Sport bumper, I have a set of carbon fiber splitters that I got from eBay for $150. I know eBay products are not the best, but these were pretty good. They got the job done. The fitment on them wasn't perfect, but it was close enough that you can't really tell unless you really look at it. From far away, it looks pretty clean. I also have a front lip that I also got from eBay for $100. This is just a simple black lip. The only problem I had with this lip was that I had it on for a year now, and over the span of the year it started to fade. Also, I have a set of gloss black double slatted grills. I got these grills from Amazon for $35. The fitment on these wasn't good at all, but you could zip tie them and then they'll sit securely, and that solves that. And that was the only issue with those. Everything else is fine. The finish is great. They're nice and glossy. Also, along with my grills, I have a set of intake scoops. They were originally black, but I painted them lime green so they could match the calipers. I just consider this an exterior mod. I don't really consider it a performance mod like it states. All it really does is just make the front look that much more aggressive. So if you're looking just to make the front aggressive, I definitely recommend these. You shouldn't probably get these as a performance mod. I got them from AFE for $100. For my M Sport bumper, I have a M Performance Diffuser that I got from eBay for $130. The fitment on this one wasn't good either, but you can't really tell unless you really look at the diffuser, around the edges where it sits into the M-Tech bumper. But you can't really tell unless you look up close, like I said, but from far away it looks pretty clean. On the ad on eBay it said you had to trim, but I didn't have to do that. This one just literally clipped right in and screwed right in, so you don't really have to worry about that. Installation is really easy. And then with my Performance Diffuser, I have a stainless steel exhaust tip. They are 3.5 inches diameter, and they're the non-staggered. I got this from just a local muffler shop in my area for around $60. Originally I had a black exhaust tip, but over time the black started to fade and it started to look gray, and I didn't like it, so I got this one, and I think it really completed the look of the back along with the M Performance Diffuser. Also, I almost forgot to mention, I have a set of rear extensions. Those are the two plastic pieces on each side of the rear bumper that stick out a little bit. I got these from a guy on Instagram who has his own business. He designed these himself and he sells them himself. I think they're $50 if I remember correctly. Next I want to talk about my side skirts. These are just plain simple side skirts that I got from eBay. They were $100. The only issue, like the other stuff I got from eBay, is that it faded over time. But with you could buy some black trim paint from like any auto store. So I just bought some of that and painted over it again, and it returned it to the finish it originally had. So that fixes that issue. The fitment on this was good overall. You had to trim some of the parts because the jack points kind of stick out and prevent the lip from being flush against the bottom of the car. So you'd have to cut like some plastic off from some of the sections of the side skirt. But after you do that, it fits fine. I just used some screws to screw it in, and it's held on since I've had it, and I've had it on for a year now. It hasn't fallen off or anything. So I definitely recommend these if you're looking for some cheap side skirts. Next I want to talk about my spoiler. I just have a simple carbon fiber performance spoiler that I got from ECS Tuning for $200. Originally I had just like a pretty thin gloss black one that just basically looks like the stock one that you could get with the M Sport package. But after my car started looking more like aggressive, it didn't really match with the rest of the car. So I got this carbon fiber spoiler to match the look of the rest of the car. This one is perfect if you're looking for a carbon fiber spoiler. Everything about it is great. I haven't had any issues with it. I just used some double-sided tape to install it to my trunk, and that was it. The tape is held up just fine. It hasn't come off or anything. And the finish is still just fine as when I first got it. So if you're looking for a spoiler, I do definitely recommend this one. Next, I'm going to talk about my wheels. I have a set of staggered Asante ABL 12s in gloss black. They're 19 by 9.5 in the back with an offset of 45, and then 19 by 8.5 in the front with an offset of 38. I have them wrapped in Hankook Ventus V12 Evo. The tire size in the front is 235 by 35Z, in the back is 265 by 30Z. I got these because I want something unique and that wasn't on every other E90. I also wanted gloss black and I wanted the 5-spoke. So I found these and I didn't see a single E90 with these. So these are the ones I chose and I love them. I haven't had any issues with them. The finish is still great. I've had them on for 9 months now. It's still nice and glossy. The paint hasn't chipped off or anything. I got these for $2,088 for the wheels and the tires. The only thing with these is that you're supposed to get a hub-centric ring because the center bore size is a little bit bigger on the wheels than the bore size on the BMW hub. So you're going to want to make sure you get a hub-centric ring to get rid of any vibration that will probably be there if you don't put one on. Along with my wheels, I painted the calipers lime green. The reason I did lime green is because that's my favorite color and I wanted to add it on the car somewhere, and that was pretty much the only place I could do it. But then when I got the intake scoops, I figured I'd do the intake scoops too to go with it. Lastly, I'm going to talk about my Coil Overs. When I first bought the car, the wheel gap was enormous. When I first bought the car, I wasn't really paying attention to it. But then as I got more involved with the car scene, I started seeing more cars that were lowered. I realized how big the gap is. For some reason, actually I know why. I guess the suspension is slightly different on the E90 xDrive models than on just the rear wheel drive models. So the front sits up a little higher on the xDrive models than on the rear wheel drive models. And it just has this atrocious wheel gap. So eventually it started bothering me. So I started looking into some Coil Overs and I quickly came across BC Racing. Most people were saying that BC Racing Coil Overs were really good. They didn't have any problems with them. I only saw mainly positive reviews of them. Specifically, I have the BC Racing BR type Coil Overs for the all-wheel drive E90 models. I got these ones. I ultimately chose these ones because they weren't too expensive. I got them for $995, which isn't that bad compared to some other Coil Overs. I've had them on for a year now, and I haven't had really any issues with them. I had one minor issue. After I installed them, I started noticing there was like a very light clunking noise coming from the front of the car. To this day, I could never figure out what it was. I could really only hear it when I was going over like uneven parts of the road at like 20 miles an hour. But after that speed, like you can't hear anything, so that's why it never really bothered me. Right now, actually, I think it kind of went away, but that's it in terms of the issues that kind of came up. Other than that, the ride quality is pretty good. I was actually surprised at how good the ride quality was when I got the coilovers installed. So I love how you can adjust the stiffness of the ride. You can make it stiffer if you want it more tight, or you can make it more loose if you want it more bouncy, which would be more comfortable. If you're in the market for some coilovers, I definitely recommend these. They're not too expensive for coilovers, and they're still fully adjustable, and you can adjust the stiffness like I said. So that's it for all of my exterior mods. I'll provide links to all the parts and products that I mentioned in the description down below. Like I said, this is my very first YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any comments or questions or any recommendations for any future videos, please leave a comment or message me on Instagram or anything. And so I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully. Guys, I didn't realize how fucking hard it is to talk into a camera about anything. Like, I see people on YouTube do this so easily, but like here I am doing it, like trying it for the first time myself, and it is really fucking hard to like know what you're gonna say, and so you don't like stumble on your words or anything. Next I want to talk about my spoiler. Next I want to talk about my spoiler. I have a Next, I'm going to talk about my wheels. I have a staggered set of Asante ABL Black. So you're going to want to make sure you get a hub-centric. So you're going to want to make sure you get a hub-centric wheel. So you're going to want to make sure you get a hub-centric ring.